Okay, so this is Christy Casey Sanders, who is reporting live from the Green Meetings Industry Council 2014 Sustainable Meetings Conference. What you're looking at right now is a big row of boxes. We just completed the World Cafe, where people divvied up into sections depending on what area of interest they had, and we worked to narrow down thousands of ideas to one big actionable idea in 15 different categories. So here we have some of the findings. Report and measure. You need to be consistent and global. Communications, we need to be experts. We need to go deeper. Revolution, we need to create a consolidated, reliable database to source anything sustainable by geographic area. We need to gamify sustainability. Procurement, we need to source locally. We have 10 times the procurement power, the purchasing power of a Walmart in the events industry. So we have the power to actually dramatically shape how sustainable events are planned just by doing business with sustainable vendors. And that's here. We can push things up the supply chain. So don't wait to get permission from your clients. Use your purchasing power to actually affect change. We can share stories, success stories, things that we need to learn about. We need to create green training boot camps. CVBs and cities need to work together to create a task force and resources for all show organizers so they can find sustainable, relevant resources and vendors. We need to keep conversations going, finding mutual enrichments, and use events to further our goals. So creating kind of the external experience to mirror the internal policies. Create a social media education plan in terms of education. This industry is so backward sometimes and slow to adapt to different things, and so since the future of communication is really going into social media, having a social media education plan about sustainability is very important. With water, make sure that people are thinking about the water uses they have, they don't realize how wasteful they are, and make it easier for facilities to measure and to conserve. For F&B, make sure that everyone, from the event organizer to your vendors to the venues, are actually being held accountable for the waste and understanding where the waste is happening in the food chain, and get them all on the table, all in the room to start talking about what's possible. Sustainable, gamified CSR, so rather than having an amazing race, have a series of activities that give back to the community and see how active people can get and involved in that. If you're in procurement, a big idea is why not tie your bonuses and your salary to sustainable goals, whether or not you made those measurements within the course of the year, and tie your bonuses to that. And that is one thing that you can explain the business relevance to. So healthy, free, and competition equals support. Carbon offsets, there's a lot of controversy about just how credible they are. So figuring out how to create incentives and certification and regulation and tax benefits would really help the business value of that proposition. For waste, think about reusable carpets and eco-friendly fabrics and reusable things and repurpose things to minimize the waste and to track and measure it. So here we also have, people just sharing business models. So if you have an association and it has similar goals to another association, see if you can partner together to have one event. They had an event in Copenhagen that co-located with the Fresh Conference, and not only did they benefit from having the same events team, they also benefited from the knowledge transfer between the two different events organizing teams. So these are some of the big ideas. And we're on a break right now at GMIC, as you can see by my little pan around the room. There were no real big ideas that were submitted on technology, but it looks like the other ones all had some kind of ideas. Oh, here's technology. I was looking, nobody had mentioned anything, so I was wondering, what was the big idea that you guys came up with?
That we were just writing a bunch of tools.
Yeah.
It was just like tool. And really what it is, maybe not a picture of it. Here's tech and here's people, and you would bridge the two, the tools, education and process.
I love it. So you can use a bridge of education and process to tie together technology with the people.
Technology is really just a tool for collaboration with people.
That's beautiful. I love
should
it.
have
Thank
said
you.
it. You get your Google Glass around it.
I do, yeah. I was actually just kind of going through and recapping for our virtual audience some of the big ideas that were shared. So I'm glad you brought this up because I found every other topic,
Except for technology.
except for technology. So thank you. I'm glad
So
you guys were talking about it.
Here is just going deeper.
Uh-huh.
Everything else was just, listing a bunch of tools.
Yeah.
Really how far can technology take us?
Nice. Excellent. Thank you. All right. Well, virtual friends, my little happy hybrids, hashtag. I will sign off. We're going to start another broadcast at 4 o'clock, so I need to set up for that. But I hope these ideas have gotten you thinking about ways that you can start to increase sustainability and to start being the change drivers in your own organizations.